In Australia, direct livestock emissions account for approximately 70% of greenhouse gas emissions from the agricultural sector and 11% of total national greenhouse gas emissions. This makes Australia's livestock the third largest source of greenhouse gas emissions after the energy and transport sectors. As we can see by this graph, beef sits right out on its own, more than twice as much emission per kilogram of product compared to all other foods. Families are acutely aware of the impact of climate change and are regularly told that one of the easiest ways they can reduce their carbon footprint is to eat less red meat. Meat and Livestock Australia has committed the industry to a 2030 net zero target. Whilst there are many great initiatives to support this goal, in our opinion, the heart of the challenge is not being addressed. 80 to 90% of emissions occur on the farm, and to meaningfully reduce these emissions, this is where scalable solutions are required. But this is also the livelihood of beef farmers and their families. It is unreasonable to expect them to bear the commercial responsibility of change and emissions reduction. Achieving the 2030 net zero goal requires a whole of supply chain approach, engaging all stakeholders from producers to consumers. In recent market research conducted by the MLA, 26% of respondents confirmed that they will always choose the sustainable and eco-friendly option if available. 1 in 4 of these consumers indicated a willingness to even pay 15% more for carbon-neutral beef. Therefore, the industry, retailers and brands need to invest in a solution to meet this demand. There are 4 major ways beef producers can effectively reduce their emissions on farm. 1. Genetics and breeding. 2. Nutrition via feed additives and diet control. 3. Management strategies to reduce intake and improve overall production efficiency. 4. Sequestration, the capturing and long-term storage of carbon in the soil. We are initially focused on genetics. Genetics is a simple way to produce low-emissions beef without imposing significant cost or change on the industry. Within the Australian farming community, there is the world's lowest emissions beef herd, Bluey. Over the past 25 years, Bluey has proven the ability to consistently produce high-quality beef that is better for the environment by reducing the emissions of each animal. Verified by Vitelli, Bluey is recognised globally as the gold standard for residual feed intake, one of the key attributes to producing low-emissions beef. Our goal is to provide the industry with a robust verification system supported by science. This system will identify and verify low-emissions genetics within the supply chain without imposing change on existing supply chain processes. Vitelli produces an independent, across all breeds genetic evaluation of feed efficiency. A bull's ability to convert feed, called a residual feed intake, is recorded via an estimated progeny difference, RFI-EPD. We will adopt this measure to identify low-emissions beef. The hypothesis is simple. If an animal derives from low-emissions genetics, we can confidently say these animals are eating less and hence producing less methane. Once identified and proven via parent verification samples, we can confirm the animal's validity for a low-emissions product. At any stage along the chain, a sample can be taken and be checked by DNA testing to see if it is truly the progeny of the elite listed sires, hence a lower emissions product. The product will pass through to the consumer fully verified and identified as a low-emission product, enabling those who love consuming beef to continue consuming, knowing they are doing their part in attending to the issue of climate change. We have developed this verification system so that the industry has a platform from which to develop a low-emissions product. Convincing producers and retailers is the next step. By supporting the verification system, we can provide the industry with the beef needed to give consumers the choice they're looking for.